This isn't going to be your typical what's in my camera bag video where I show you my new $500 camera bag jam-packed with all the new expensive camera gear. I always try to preach about necessity and kind of a minimalist approach to creating the best possible content with what you got. Most of the content we cover here takes place outdoors, so we're not going to have the option of bringing a bunch of lights, gimbals, tripods, etc. with us everywhere we go, especially if you're just a one-man team right now like I am. Let's start off with the items that we'll bring for every shoot. First off, my camera bag is the same one I've had for years, and it's the Low-Pro ProTactic 450. I had this for a long time. I don't even know if it's still made anymore. At first this was a little too much for me, but it's been perfect over the years for the camera gear that I gradually acquired. It's been through a lot and it's still in perfect shape. With that in mind, let's see what's in my camera bag. Before we even pack up our camera bag, we need to get a plan together for our shoot along with a shot list if possible. Having a nice organized shot list is going to help us minimize the amount of camera gear we bring along with us. Now that we have our shot list planned out, it was easy to decide what we need to pack. We're only going to bring the gear that we need to get the shots that are on our shot list. I'll show you 3 different examples of packs with different items in them according to what we need for the shoot. Now the items I keep in my bag at all times. I've learned really fast to always bring extra SD cards and extra batteries for every camera and device that I bring along. I have extra SD cards in this compartment here, and I have a battery charger with 2 batteries for my Sony FX30 that also works as a battery backup when it's holding 2 charged batteries, and it also holds a couple extra SD cards in this safe little compartment here. I have this little bag of extra batteries for my Sony a6400 that I keep in my camera bag at all times, even though I don't always bring that camera. In this compartment I keep my very select collection of audio equipment consisting of my little Rode Video Micro and my Tascam DR10L audio recorder, along with a couple different wind muffs. Next to that we have a little compartment with some cleaning items, some clear surgical tape to hide my lavalier mic, and a Leatherman multifunction knife. Here we just have my 55 to 210mm lens and a little case with an assortment of cables. Next to that I have my 2 battery backups, a couple different phone holders, a small rig super clamp that's come in handy more than once, and a few different variable ND filters which are a must-have for outdoor shooting. In this last little compartment I keep my Sony a6400 batteries, some tripod mounts, and a little shutter remote to control my camera, which I hardly ever use, but it doesn't take up much space, so I'll keep it there just in case. In these flaps I just store some miscellaneous straps, pens, clips, etc. Up here I have some Allen wrenches and some little screwdrivers. In this large laptop area I just keep a notebook and sometimes bring along an iPad when needed. Now for the first pack layout. In addition to all the stuff that I just mentioned in this pack, I'll bring my main camera, which is the Sony FX30, which always has a cage with a handle and a Manfrotto tripod mount always on it, along with a Sigma 18 to 50mm f2.8 lens. I try to keep this camera ready to go at all times. In this other large area, I'll bring my GoPro case consisting of my GoPro, a couple attachments, an extra battery, and some ND filters. I always bring this Telesin extendable tripod for the GoPro too. It doesn't take up much room and it works great for vlogging or setting up the camera on a flat surface. I'll also bring some of these other GoPro attachments like the vehicle magnet and the window suction mount. The second pack layout is for when I'm planning on getting some drone shots. I'll keep my main camera where it's at and I'll put the DJI Air 2S drone in the other large area. The remote fits perfectly here, the batteries, cable, and ND filters fit here, and my iPad mini 6 has plenty of room in the laptop compartment. We just need to make sure everything is charged the night before we pack it and we're good to go. The third pack layout is when I need to bring my second camera, the Sony a6400, and also fits perfect in this large compartment. Both my cameras use Sony APS-C E-mount lenses, so I keep a Sony 28mm f2 lens on the a6400, and I can always swap it out with the Sigma 18 to 50mm lens on the FX30, or use the 55 to 210mm lens that's always in the pack, along with my extra batteries for the a6400. As you can see, none of these pack layouts consist of too much gear. I did forget to mention that I always bring my Manfrotto compact tripod that straps on the side or back of the Low-Pro camera pack perfectly. There are some occasions where I'll need to bring a little light with some batteries to help out if I'm speaking in a darker area, but this lays flat in the pack and usually mounts right to my tripod. Sometimes I'll have to bring my drone in its carrying case along with my camera bag if I'm trying to cram a lot of shooting that day. But for the most part, I'm always using one of these 3 pack layouts. I think the key to keeping your gear organized and to a minimum is finding out what works best for you and keep using it. If you do find something better, then replace your old equipment rather than adding to it. You can always sell good used equipment on eBay, and there's a bunch of camera sites out there that buy used lenses and cameras. Let me know in the comments below if you share the same style of gear control or if you're simply just a collector. This is just what works best for me and helps me keep my spending down and my load lighter. I'm planning on replacing some equipment in the near future, so make sure you stay tuned and see what gets to take up the scarce but valuable real estate in my camera bag.